All right, folks, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Feel free to please take a seat. We're really excited for our next speaking segment here at Chicago Day. So one of the best things about putting together this experience, first, I want to make sure I give a massive shout out to Nicole McCarthy, our Chicago Day lead, who recruited our partners, got the activations. If you enjoy chocolate cake, the food, that's all because Nicole put it all together. And one of the things that was really amazing was bringing some of Chicago's most iconic and biggest brands, Chicago Bulls, Microsoft, and now the Obama Foundation. And when we think about catalytic investments, when we think about the future of Chicago and our cities, when we think about the legacy of Chicago and our brand of Chicago, there's obviously someone that's very special to us with President Barack Obama, his message and what he wants to do when you think about the future work with the Obama Foundation. What you're about to see is something that you've never seen before. Most presidential libraries are pretty standard in what you see in other cities, but the Obama Foundation has this really visionary idea about what it could be for local neighborhoods, for our city, and obviously for the world, and the legacy of the Obama Foundation that's going to be incredibly impactful, not just in Chicago, but around the world. They're one of what we believe, one of Chicago's most innovative and creative brands. So it's my pleasure to introduce our next keynote with the Obama Foundation and our CEO, Phil Clement. Please give me a big round of applause to welcome them on stage.
Everybody got one? We gotta love these hats. Fantastic. Mine is, both of ours are in Seattle Sonic green and yellow. I'm not sure about that, but great to have you here, Joshua. I think this, we're the official warm-up band for Thursday with Michelle coming, but I think we can start out with a warm-up on the warm-up. We have a little video, I believe, so... well, we could do 2 minutes. So, Josh, tell me about yourself. Joshua has done some amazing work at the Obama Foundation, but prior to that, you have worked at every level of government. I noticed in your bio. You have been city, you've been county, you've been state, you've been obviously federal elections. How does it feel to be doing what you're doing now?
I would say it is a full circle moment. So I started my career and journey working on the advocacy side at Organizing for America. So we worked on healthcare policy, worked on President Obama's re-election campaigns. So to be here now, it's a full circle moment to be able to work on his legacy project that's going to have lasting impact for generations to come.
I think there's this great phrase, a dream within a dream, but in this case, it's like a dream within a dream within a dream, right? You've got the first black president being elected president of the United States. He's a Chicagoan. You've been a part of it, and now you get to be so active in his legacy. Tell me about that journey, though. Did you ever think you'd be working at the Obama Center when the young state senator from Illinois was running for office?
Not at all. I think like many people tried to figure out what I wanted to do with my life and career. I got, like I said, involved in politics, really like campaign work, and then stepped into city government, working in DC government, and then obviously in Chicago for the city of Chicago and Cook County. But there was always, I felt something more I wanted to do. And then seeing the foundation stand up, seeing the foundation's mission about trying to inspire, empower, and connect the next generation of leaders to bring about change. I was like, you know what? I want to be a part of that. I want to be a part of that journey. I'll do whatever the position is. I'll do whatever it takes to stand up this presidential center and build out programming. But never imagined I'd be here, especially next to you, Phil.
Oh,
here,
yeah, right.
Here
right,
at South by Southwest.
Right, here at South by Southwest. Okay, it looks like we might have a video now. So let's see if we got it. Can we? No. Oh, okay, there we go.
When we open our eyes every day and look around, we see our home. Home is where we raise our families and build our relationships, where we go to work and put down roots. It's where our identities and beliefs take shape, where the things we do matter, and where we feel like we belong. In so many ways, our home, whether it's a place we live or just a community we feel connected to, defines who we are and the future we imagine for ourselves. And yet, for too many people today, home isn't everything we want it to be. They feel like the life they want for themselves and their families is slipping away, and they're worried about the future. Meanwhile, our public discourse has gotten more toxic, driving us apart and making it harder to recognize ourselves in each other. Our planet, the home we all share, has become less hospitable as the climate crisis has grown. And too many people feel like our institutions can't or won't deliver on the promise of a better life, and that participation isn't worth the effort. It's enough to make anyone feel hopeless. But as daunting as these challenges may be, I'm still convinced that it's within our power to make progress, to build a better home for all of us. We can encourage more participation, create more opportunity, and bring people closer together. We can strengthen our local, national, and global communities and build new institutions for a modern world. We can engage more people on the issues that matter most. We can find joy and show grace, even in the face of real differences and serious obstacles. We can tell a better story and lift each other up. And when we do, the actions we take will grow and spread, creating a new culture of democracy and positive change. Until the home we live in starts to look a little more like the one we imagine. That's what Bring Change Home means, and I hope you'll help us do it.
Our library, we think of, a private place that you go to study in and maybe to escape the world. I think the center is the exact opposite. Tell us a little bit about a presidential center versus a library and what we're doing with the...
Well, it's not a library.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to take you all through some of the spaces very soon that we have. Right now it's a big construction site, but we have a 3D sort of visualization that can take a deep dive through all the different spaces on the campus. But, President Obama has said that he didn't want this presidential center to be sort of this look in the past relic, almost a ode to him. He wanted it to be about the collective we. And so, sure, we're going to do some looking back at, the administration and the accomplishments, but it's about the work forward. And so how that, as you go through this experience, how you can bring about change in your own communities, wherever that may be. And so, sure, we'll have a museum in the museum tower where we'll dive into the administration, the rise of the Obamas. But we have a public forum space, 299-seat auditorium where we're going to have public speaking opportunities, speaker series. We partner with the Chicago Public Library to build a first-of-its-kind library branch on the campus. We have a restaurant and cafe that is not behind a ticketed wall, so anyone can come in, grab a bite to eat. Our campus will be equipped with high-speed Wi-Fi that's free to the public. So we're actually across the street from Hyde Park Academy, a high school. So imagine those students coming across the street to do homework using our Wi-Fi, going to the Chicago Public Library branch. We have our fruit and vegetable garden, as we remember Mrs. Obama and the White House vegetable garden, right? This is an ode to her, to continue that work around teaching people about healthy eating and healthy living. And we have an athletic center called Home Court. As we know, the president is a lover of basketball, right? So we have an NBA regulation-sized basketball court with programming space, all these spaces are going to be activated. 90+% of our campus is free and open to the public. The only space that is ticketed is the tower, where you'll have to go through a vertical exhibit. But this is a hub of activity, so this is really a center, not a library.
Right, I loved it, and I think it merits a lot of explanation. We'll go into some of the different programs, but partnership is a big part of it, and I thought that the Microsoft Bulls presentation just now was fantastic, talking about trust and protecting partners. Who are the big partners for the Obama Center?
Great question. Well, some are here in the room today.
Yeah.
Chicago Bulls just Give it up for Adrian, right? Chicago Bulls, who do some fantastic work partnering with our My Brother's Keeper Alliance program with trying to empower boys and young men of color, particularly on the South and West sides, to rise to their full potential. So all of our work is done through partnerships. We wouldn't be where we are today without our corporate philanthropic partners. So thank you. Thank you for working with us over the years. I'll give some examples. We partnered with Urban Alliance to form the Obama Youth Job Corps. And so this is a program, an internship program designed for high school seniors, primarily from the South and West sides of Chicago, to obtain internship opportunities, many of which intern with us. Every single person that's gone through this program ends up getting a full ride at a four-year institution or apprenticeship after they get done with us.
Wow.
And that's a
Wow.
partnership
That's
through
amazing.
Urban Alliance.
Yeah.
As I mentioned, Chicago Bulls with My Brother's Keeper Alliance. There are so many partners that we work with over the years. We have, again, Hyde Park Academy High School, so working directly with Chicago Public Schools to bring programming into that space. We have a program called the Future Series. I'll back up and say our CEO, Valerie Jarrett, always says, if you can't see it, you can't be it. And so this program is designed in partnership with our partners to bring professionals into the spaces directly to those kids. We also take them on excursions and field trips into the spaces to learn the behind the scenes work about what it takes to run a business. They get to understand a person's rise. Many are Chicagoans who look like them, so they get to see the rise and how they were able to obtain, their professional accomplishments. So those are a few examples that I wanted to highlight today. There's many more, but again, we are a 100% privately funded organization. We don't take any federal, state, or city money, and the work that we do, I'm up here because of the work that we do in collaboration with our partners.
So there's so much good work on the agenda, and it's what I would call classic community development and some wonderful educational and empowerment. And we'll come back to that. But one thing, obviously I'm a Chicago guy. I was a big fan of Obama. I'll never forget the night he's elected. I was walking the streets in San Francisco, and we moved from Chicago, but celebrating in my heart and soul. What are you doing to preserve that legacy at the center? Because it is part of the mission.
It is part of the mission.
Yeah, it's preserving the presidential legacy.
It is. So I think couple things. As I mentioned, as you go through the tower, if you go through our campus, because I expect all of you to come to our opening, late spring of 2026. We'll announce a date soon. You'll start looking at an exhibit called On Whose Shoulders We Stand. And so it's a look back at, civil rights leaders, the people that, but for them, the Obamas would not be who they are and where they are today. We'll look back at the campaign days. And so there are a couple exhibits where we've collected and sourced memorabilia, hats, buttons, you name it. So we can look back at the activations and the excitement that people had around that moment in 2007, 2008. Again, that moment in Grant Park, seeing them come out. And then, of course, walk you through the milestones of the administration. But I think more importantly, it's about the work through our leadership programs, which is truly the legacy of the Obamas. So you look at our Global Leaders Program, we have cohorts in Africa, Asia Pacific, Europe, USA. We have Jeff Beckham here in the front row, CEO of Chicago Scholars, who is a Leaders USA in our second cohort, so give it up for Jeff. She's gonna give me a side eye, but Rebecca Silverman in the back, who is actually a staffer at the Obama Foundation, but she was a participant in our Scholars Program, which is a program designed for graduate students at the University of Chicago and University of Columbia. But all these programs are designed to bring, what?
Just leave it there. Is it long enough? We can just...
Let me fix this really quick.
Okay. There we go.
All right. I'm gonna do this over here. There we go.
The sign of a true professional.
Appreciate you. But all these programs are designed to bring people from diverse experiences, backgrounds, demographics together to learn how to solve the complex challenges of tomorrow. So Leaders USA is a 6-month immersive program We give them the tools and resources to be able to have a dialogue. We provide them with coaching. And of course, we provide all these program participants with a 6,000 person alumni network so they can continue to work together and again, solve problems wherever they may be. So that's the legacy of the Obamas.
No, but what I love is that it's not just, as you say, a museum exhibit. We're talking about legacy coming alive through a next generation of leaders.
Yeah.
And trying to get that change to continue happening. And I think that's remarkable. All right, well, would you mind if we maybe took a little tour? I think it's good to start visualizing what it is that we've got here. We've got a video, I think.
Stand up here, I'll have to
give you a sense for the
walk
place.
you through everything. It's exciting. I'm excited. Get excited. Here we go. We don't have President Obama narrating. You got me, so not as good.
But you're working on it.
It's coming. Promise. It's not coming. No. Did everybody enjoy the activation upstairs? Yeah? Okay. Did you get stickers? Oh, here we go. Okay, here we go. Yep. So here's the Presidential Center. It's 19.3 acre campus embedded in Jackson Park. Jackson Park is a 550 acre park that was put together during the 1893 Columbian Exposition. How many people knew that fun fact? I didn't know that when I started either. There you go. Here to the north of the campus, you'll see the circular women's garden. This is the tower, the museum tower that I talked about. We're going over the public forum space. There's the Chicago Public Library branch in the center. There's a playground. This is an old image, but that is home court. That's a placeholder image of the athletic center. So as you can see, this is embedded in the park. There is a lot of nature that's preserved here. It's designed to bring in community, to bring people in. We're going to dive closer into the plaza, which is named after civil rights legend John Lewis. This is the John Lewis Plaza. So as you can see, tables, chairs, people to hang out, be in community, and be present. So there's the Chicago Public Library branch. Again, this is a street called Stony Island in Chicago. So as you're walking up the sidewalk, you can easily walk into our campus. And this is the main entry point of where people who will go through our tower, you'll come in through this space and go through the entry point here. This is the Hadia Pendleton Winter Garden there. Again, this is the promenade. Random people talking. Hopefully you'll do that. But inside.
There you are.
Fruit and vegetable, Illinois Roosevelt fruit and vegetable garden. And as you can see, this is designed to be inclusively designed to meet people wherever they are of all abilities. The idea is to have programming here to teach people about gardening techniques through partnerships, through local partnerships. And also, what do you do with that food once you grow it, right? So the planting will start for that in the spring, right before we open. So when we went about this project, Mrs. Obama had this, I would say, request for us to put in a sloped space on the Great Lawn. Because as a young girl, she never had a sledding hill on the south side of Chicago. And so we actually have a sledding hill.
Right.
Here you'll see a playground for kids. The same architect that designed, if people are familiar with Magadaley Park, same architect designed our park for young kids, including myself, who will be going down some slides. We increased bike paths and walking space. Yes, okay, you're your biker? Oh, I love it. And again, it's just as you look at this, it's a place you want to go to, right? Right? Yeah. Again, preserving nature, planting more trees that were present than before throughout the entire campus. I'll take you into a couple of art features that are coming up next. We have some great world-class public art that will be free and accessible to the public. We've worked with artists such as Julie Moretu, Maya Lin, to name a few, and the late Richard Hunt, who designed one of his last pieces before he so sadly passed away. Again, park space here. For anyone to walk up to, you can go sit on this giant duck, you know? It's kind of cool, I guess, yeah. I like this little spider climbing thing. I'll be in that, yeah. I can't wait to have young kids. I can't wait to take my kids here.
I think the enormity of the space is always a surprise to people.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It is massive. Here, as we go into the Chicago Public Library branch, this is the President's Reading Room. So we're actually working in partnership with them to curate a collection of books. This is a place where people could actually come in, study, obviously check out books from the Chicago Public Library, but that gives you a sense of what it is. And here on the south side again, looking over home court, there's the lagoon, so think paddle boating, kayaking over to the right there. And then, of course, as the sun sets over the Obama Presidential Center, the entire campus will be illuminated. Isn't that beautiful? Come on. There we go. Yeah.
Amazing. How many of you are familiar with the south side of Chicago? All right, so you also know that this is not exactly the stock and inventory that's available there now, and what a transformative experience this will be for the people who live there. And I think the catalytic investment, if I remember correctly, it's somewhere around 700,000 visitors you're expecting a year. You tell me if that's up or down or been revised.
A little up, so.
It's now up? Yeah.
So here's, in our vertical tower, because obviously you're limited with space, we expect anywhere from 650,000 to 750,000 people to go through the museum space.
Okay.
Because
just that space.
Just that space.
Yeah.
Because as you saw, we hope that the open park space is a hub of activity. We'll have a lot of public programming, movies in the park, concerts in the park, et cetera. We estimate anywhere from 1.5 to 2 million people annually coming to that campus.
Wow. And how much investment? I think it was about, well, I do have that it was $3 billion in projected economic impact.
Yep.
5,000 jobs.
5,000 indirect and direct jobs, yep.
Indirect and direct jobs. So just unbelievable. And I'm not sure if this is a fair question in the sense that I read it in one obscure article about it before we did our tour, and I just found it so impressive that the whole area is now having much cleaner water as a result of just the request for the garden. Can you share?
Yeah.
Yeah. These are the kind of the virtuous cycles that happen with economic development. You build something great in one spot, and it lifts up other spots.
Yeah. So to the east, the back of the campus by the lagoon was a street called Cornell Drive. This was a newer street. It's been there for about 100 years. We basically took over Cornell Drive, closed it, and made this a part of the campus. And it actually repurposed it back to its original intent, which was to be a part of Jackson Park. And so what environmentalists found is that by the closure of Cornell Drive, of course, with all that street traffic going back and forth, it was a major sort of cut through for Chicagoans. The toxic water levels in the lagoon dropped dramatically just from that one street closure. So, yeah. Wow. Yeah. I agree. Wow.
Okay, so I've got, I knew that the Obama Center was coming. I was very excited about it. As you've been driving by it for a while, all you see is the monolith, right?
Yeah.
And then now to hear all the things that are involved in it, the big one that I love has to be the sports center.
Oh, yeah.
I used to go to the Illinois Center gym at Lakeshore, and Obama was playing basketball, and they were coming in the locker room, and you could just tell it would not be him if it didn't have a basketball court. Tell us a little bit about all the athletic programs that you're trying to do, and I know that basketball court is being seen, if I remember correctly, as an extension of the high school across the street. I love it.
Yeah, so again, through partnerships, right, we're talking with the YMCA in Chicago. There's a Southside Y location literally adjacent from us. But what can we do to co-create some programming where they can use our space, and there's reciprocal use for a lot of the athletic programs that they run. So Hyde Park Academy, again, they have a fantastic basketball team, so we're exploring ways with them to use our space. But beyond that, again, through partnerships, My Brother's Keeper Alliance, Girls Opportunity Alliance, who all work with local organizations, we want to work with them to activate the programming they already do in our space. We recognize that we're not the experts here. There are great organizations already who are doing this work. And our job is to support them, to uplift them, to amplify them, to make sure that more notoriety, more attention is brought to the work that they're doing, and hopefully thus more resources and support as well.
There are so many people are going to love visiting the building and the campus. And there, you did mention the sled. The sledding hill. I know it is the best sledding hill in Chicago once it's open, right? I mean, it's not only a sledding hill. I think it's already been nominated as the best.
The best.
Yeah.
We just need some snow. I've been in Chicago in the last couple of years, but you know.
But as you go around the campus, there's these little thrilling pieces, and just one of them we can point out to is at the top, the words, and
yes.
the idea of looking out from a balcony through the words. Can you just, because there's literally 500 of these little moments in the building, but do you know that one?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
so if you remember on the tower, you saw the letters that face on the south and west sides of the building. That is letter text, 5-foot concrete letter text from President Obama's 50th anniversary of Selma speech. And so you'll see things like "Yes, we can" and whatnot. And so as you go through the tower and you rise to the top in the sky room, you'll be able to look out on the south and west sides purposely of the city as a way for the Obamas and us to say, you know, we see you. These are two areas of the city that have been historically underinvested. And so we want people to think about what they can do to impact those communities after going through the exhibit space.
And I love the fact that it's on the southwest side of the building.
Yep.
Right? So Chicago always puts its views towards the lake. This is putting it towards the neighborhood, and I think it's to be able to envision a future. And anyway, you could tell I'm quite excited about it. So
Phil's a great hype man.
what else are you excited about at the center?
I would say when we open, spring of 2026. Okay, mark your calendars. I'm excited for people from all around the world to come see the city that we love, to come to a place that, you know, sure, we can reflect on the past, but come together and think about what we can do to change our own communities and be more civically engaged, become more active citizens, participate in our democracy. And that's really one of the main drivers for this center, is to get people more engaged, get us off the sidelines. Think about whatever impact you determine, go forth and do it, and we want to be able to give you the tools and resources to be successful in that. So
with the 700,000 or more people that will be visiting Chicago, I will do an overall view of some things that are pretty interesting that are happening. So if you imagine at the Obama Center, all the way up Lakeshore, up to the museum campus, and then we have a Navy Pier, and then the Bulls are putting together a new facility at 1901, which is on the west side, and then you go up to the north end of Michigan Avenue. So for those that are Chicagoans, it's kind of a 2-corridor cross. In economic development, you get to know that there are over 15 immersive digital experiences that are being looked at being built in Chicago along that corridor. So these are major motion picture studios. Imagine things like the Sphere on different scales. Entertainment that's going to I don't know. I mean, we tend to think of Vegas or Times Square when we think of, Harry Potter experiences and all that. And that's all coming to Chicago. And I think that the Obama Center is one of those catalytic investments for it. And the Bulls are putting in, I think it's closer to $4 billion than $3 billion into their 1901 campus, for example. So lots of investment happening, I think, in parallel.
Absolutely. And going back to partnerships and the work that you all do at World Business, I just want to touch on the hope that the Presidential Center will be a catalyst for economic growth. So we've been very intentional from the start about trying to ensure that particularly the South and West Sides and people who have been there can benefit and take advantage of all the economic activity that's coming to the South Side. So when we started, we did a first of its kind joint venture called Lakeside Alliance, bringing together 4 Black-owned construction firms to build a presidential center. We have our workforce strategy called We Can Build It, which is a consortium of some pre-apprenticeship programs to diversify the construction trades industry. And so we've had 243 people who've gone through that program who've been placed not just at our site, but at construction sites all across the city of Chicago. And so in Chicago, the construction trades industry is a career for people. So this is life-changing for many. And then when we think about the small businesses who have been there, the solo entrepreneurs, other small businesses, we're thinking of creative ways in partnership with World Business Chicago and others. How can we uplift and build their capacity so that they can take advantage of all this economic activity coming to the South Side?
What I have to say about your organization is that word partnership. It just comes up over and over again, and you're doing all the right things. I think that we are now, are we all going to be heading to the roof? Is that the idea? Oh, okay, sorry. All right, I will.
We can keep going.
Yeah.
I can go all day.
No.
Let's go.
I think we're getting the hook. But we are looking forward to more conversation. You're going to be here for a while.
I'll be here.
And lots of representatives from the Obama Foundation. Thank you for what you're doing. You're doing all the right stuff, and it means the world to all of us.
Thank you. Really quick, Obama Foundation staff, can you stand up? I just want to shout you out. If you're still in the room, I don't know if anybody's there. So there's Amanda. We had Eddie and Rebecca in the back, Arpon. But definitely find one of us. We're around, happy to answer questions, and thank you for coming out.
Cheers.
Thank you.